Man, what's up? What is up with it? You finna know now. Cause Errol Spence just sold this fight. I mean, literally, he just sold me that pay-per-view. I don't know if you guys saw the face-to-face that they had. Man, that was worth the price of admission. That was worth the price of admission. That he just sold the fight. He just sold the pay-per-view to me, and I was watching it anyway. He just sold it. He sold it like a mug. Oh, Errol Spence did. Oh my God, it was great. See, the face-to-face, everything was out the window. What was gone was the facade. Well, you know, he's a good fighter. You know, we're both champions. All that stuff was out the window. Oh my God. Everybody's true feelings came out in that whole interview. Sean was, man, it was unbelievable. I'm watching it and I couldn't believe it. It was super intense. Everything was like on a swivel because of the situation that was surrounding all the drama and the blowback and, you know, everybody's perception of the fight. But once you get past all that nonsense and you get just down to the fight, then you starting to see the gist of what everybody is, you know, all this built up energy. So they start talking about where everybody was headed. Everybody was, you know, like, you know, what they think about the other person, the fighter and all this. And he was just like, you know, everybody know you a dirty fighter. You know, because Errol got this nonchalant country accent, you know, that southern Houston, Texas accent, man. It's so funny because he's just nonchalant, being honest. Man, look, everybody know you a dirty fighter. He was like, oh, I'm a dirty fighter, so I just use dirty tag. Man, come on, man. Everybody know you a dirty fighter. Man, I was cracking up. Then they got to talking. He was like, man, look. He like, when he started talking about his career, Sean Porter's career, man, every time you get, man, it's a barn burner. Every fight you get in. Man, look at Danny Garcia. That was a close fight. He's like, Ugas, the fight with Ugas, that was close. He's like, every time you fight somebody, it's a barn burner. He's like, oh, you been stopped. You been stopped twice. 2 people done stopped you. He's like, Kell Brook, what happened with Kell Brook? He negated everything you tried to do. You tried to bully him, and he stopped you. You couldn't run him over, and he hurt you about 3-4 times in the fight. He was like, man, I heard Kell Brook too. You heard you thought you heard Kell Brook? Yeah, I think I heard him a few times. No, you didn't. Man, when he said that, man, I almost peed on myself. Oh, that was the funniest thing I've ever heard in the entire thing. He's like, you think you heard Kell Brook, right? He's like, yeah, I think I heard Kell a couple times in the fight. No, you didn't. He's like, you think you heard Kell Brook in the fight? Yeah, no, you didn't. Oh, Get me the phone. I'm buying pay-per-view right now. Do not miss this fight this weekend. Pay. It is the cheapest thing you can ever get. It's like $25. How could you not, man? Get your tickets now. It's gonna be at the movie theaters. You can go there and see it at the movie theaters. The fight is cheap. It's not one of them $75 pay-per-views. Yeah, first lady. I mean, first last, if you wasn't me. Oh man, that was the best face-to-face ever. I mean, Sean Porter was so mad. He was like, man, so Sean decided to switch it up. Man, look, you fought a guy that was at 135, came up to 47, though. Look at you. You fought a guy, Mikey Garcia, at 135. He was like, yeah, but the guys I fought were world champions. What about you, though? Who you fought? I'm like, oh, he coming at Errol now. We might have a little something here. He was who you fought, Mikey Garcia, coming up at 135. He was like, yeah, but I won every round, though. I made it look easy. If you fought Mikey Garcia, it'd be another barn burner. I was like, get me the phone, man. Get me the phone. I'm buying it. Dude, I don't think a hype for a fight has really got me to the point where I was ready to buy a fight. This right here had me ready to buy. I was bought in. I was 100% bought in. I said, oh, I was already going to see this fight. I am 100% bought in. If your marketing pay-per-view dollars, all that pushed into people buying into the fight, this did it. I was like, look, this marketing worked because I'm ready to watch the fight. Man, Errol Spence and Sean Porter, man. I mean, I've never seen Sean Porter so pissed off in my life. He was so frustrated, like, oh my God, like we finna go here. Oh, he was mad. Oh, he was mad. He finna come like a bull in a china shop on Saturday night. Like, Kale hurt you a few times. Oh man, I can tell that's the fight they've been watching because that's the fight that showed the most how to stop Sean Porter. You know, stop his offense. That was the first time. Sean Porter cannot beat guys his size. He's good at fighting people that's smaller than him. They fed him a nice diet of small welterweights and let him just chomp through them. The only guy he beat that was his size was Ugas, and he didn't beat him. Sean Porter has a history of not being able to beat these guys. I just hope he makes weight, because it's getting harder and harder for Sean to make that weight. Once again, a great human being, a great person. His father's a little bit all over the place, but, you know, Sean's a decent human being, man. Very decent human being. Errol's a better fighter. He's a better all-around boxer than Sean Porter. But in the early rounds, it's the dangerous rounds for Errol. Well, if Sean come with that headbutt stuff, I don't know if it works on Errol, because Errol got that Jamaican head, man. You gonna have to hurt Errol to the body. You gotta hit Errol with an uppercut or to the body, because you ain't gonna hurt him hitting him on the top of the head. That boy got a cinemass dome. Well, let's get it. I'm trying to figure out why my picture is frozen on the screen. What's up, Mr. Bayless? Don't forget to donate to the page. My super chat is the cash out. And that's that. As a matter of fact. Well, absolutely. Well, I feel that Errol Spence has more in the tank. A lot of different weaponry, where Sean only can do one thing. He fights like it's 3rd and 1. He go hut, hike, and this is exactly what he needs to do. You know, he needs to bum rush Errol early. First 3 rounds are critical for Sean. He can't come in there trying to box, trying to think. If you do that, you're in trouble. Errol's just going to stay on the outside, use his jab, see some openings, see what you want to do, and that's that. You need to be physical with Errol from the beginning. Get Errol fighting off his back foot, using his leg work, footwork. You know, you got to be wild man Sean. This ain't the time to be that educated fighter or trying to be. That's not you. You come in head first. You're going to need the elbow, the headbutt, and the punch. That's the thing. I haven't seen Porter whoop a welterweight yet. I've seen him whoop a bunch of junior welterweights that they done brought up. He done mauled them to death. But a real welterweight, somebody his size, nah, that don't happen. He gonna bull rush in there. I just watched this guy doing the promo, go in there and spar the guy on the undercard, who's definitely bigger than him, and just getting himself beat up on. I'm like, dude, if that's your job to make David Benavidez look good, he sparred David Benavidez. David Benavidez was beating him like a rented mule in sparring. I'm like, Jesus. Dude, do you even move your head at all? And I'm like, you the main event. And you in there getting whooped on like you a sparring partner for real. And I'm like, man, echoing a lot because that's exactly how I view him as a sparring partner. He's a sparring partner who went above and beyond anything he was supposed to ever do as a boxer. Like I said, great human being. Like Tim Bradley's wife. Tim Bradley missed out on millions of dollars because his wife wanted him to retire. Porter have a hard time listening to his father. I don't know why. I wouldn't listen to Kenny Porter either. He probably do better when he don't listen to him. That's 99.9% of his problem. Is Kenny Porter. Oh, I can't wait for this undercard. You got John Molina versus what's his name? The Riverside Rocky. He just got up beating up on Keith Thurman. Almost knocked Keith Thurman out. Jose Cito Lopez. That's gonna be a barn burner fight. I got Jose Cito Lopez winning that fight by a knockout in the 4th round. When John Molina gets caught again with another left hook. John Molina cannot see a left hook coming. I don't know why, but the left hook is all night long on John Molina. I'm like, do you not know the left hook gets you off? I mean, people telegraph the punch. He's thinking so much about his offense. The left hook is just coming on the train to Georgia. Right up. Gone. So I see. Well, the thing is he's got to keep the tempo. That's going to be the fight of the night. That's the one that's most intriguing. See, Anthony Durrell, this is his last fight. He's already thinking outside of the ring. You know, this is last year in boxing, so he wants to go out in a bang. He's been doing it for a while. Anthony's always been my favorite. Andre Durrell is the one that I didn't care for. Andre Durrell was more slick, stand at angles, and more of an amateur boxer. You know, try to tag and get points. But then when the trenches get hot, he won't out. Every time it turns to the trench, he starts looking for that door. He wants out. Well, it never fails. Yep. Darrell sees a way out. He wanted out. Anthony has been reviving the family's name. And that's a good thing. He's been reviving that family name, keeping it wholesome, keeping it real, keeping it loyal. Because somebody I know wasn't. Somebody wasn't keeping their name wholesome. Well, the thing is that Anthony Darrell, breaking down and assessing the fight, Anthony Darrell is a cagey fighter. He's more of an attack fighter. He loves to throw the right hand. He's not somebody that keeps it shy and will bait you with his jab and won't throw his right hand. Oh, no. Anthony let that right hand fly. But he knows how to set traps for you to where if you are aggressive and you're coming at him, he knows when as soon as you leave that opening, he gonna close the door. And Anthony can crack. You know, that's the thing about Anthony. Defense is about a C, but he can crack. And that's exactly what you want. Somebody in the ring that can knock somebody's head off their shoulders. Well, David Benavidez is a big body. So when you got David Benavidez, the thing that people underestimate about him is how fast he is. See, Jose Benavidez Sr., his father is a third-degree black belt martial artist. All these kids, him and his brother, was taught martial arts. But David was the better boxer out of all of them. They're really good strikers, and speed and the way he trained them was basically how he would do a martial arts training. So they were always physically fit. David just grew and stretched like a tree. So because he grew up so big and long, he still was fast. His twitch muscles are very fast. So when it comes to fighting and everything else, you will not be able to time him as easy as you think. He fights like a guy who fights at like 147 or something, the way he drops his hands low. And you're like, why would he drop his hands so low? And the hands are low because he's not even worried about the punch coming in, because he knows how to evade it. Because it's a trap to make you think that he can get away, to make you overextend. So he comes with a counter shot. He'll start with a jab, and he comes in with like a 3-punch combination when you think he's going to throw one. Because you look at the size of him and you think you can gauge the speed of his punches by his size. And it's deception, because the next punch comes so fast. You're like hit and like, whoa, what the heck just happened to me? Didn't expect that. Tasty Killers is out. Oh, well, you took your first loss. I can't believe I'm 3-0 with all the adversity I went through. My goodness. Losing my quarterback, my wide receiver, my running back, now my tight ends hurt. I'm like, man, I got to go and reschedule and reshuffle my whole team. But back to the fight, the way I see it playing out, I think early on it's going to tell the fight. The first 3 rounds is really going to tell the fight. David is going to come out. He needs to keep the pace at a very fast pace. I have him winning a unanimous decision over Anthony Durrell because of his activity, because that's what he needs to do. He's got to keep that tempo fast. Can't have the tempo, stagnant, like dull. You can't do that because you're not going to win. If you keep that at that pace, there's no way in the world you could win the fight. If you let Anthony, try to set the pace, and because Anthony needs a slow fight. He's the older fighter. He's been fighting for 25 years. But what David can't do is lure himself into a position where he's going to get caught flush right on the chin because he didn't drop his left hand too low and got in and thinking that Anthony's done, and Anthony Durrell cracks him with a right hand on the chin, because Anthony could put you to sleep. Breaking the main event down, I think, like I said, Porter's got to come in trying to tackle and and fight rough. He cannot outbox Errol. The good thing for him is Errol takes about 3 rounds to get himself acclimated to the fight. Porter can get the fight going immediately by turning it into his style of fight, which is maul and brawl. So when they go, hut, one thing, hike. You come out that corner, run right over there, give him a shoulder, bump him into the ropes, and start going to work. That's the Sean Porter that everybody knows. That's your only way of winning the fight. Well, the thing is, Porter's big and strong, but when he gets stood up by like bigger guys, it's easy to negate what he's gonna do. If you're strong enough, if you're big enough and strong enough, you can deal with Sean. You can stop anything he's trying to do. He just needs to retire. Keith Thurman needs to just fight one more time, get out of the game, man. Go ahead, balloon up to 185 and just go on live your life being a boxing announcer. Call yourself a 2-time champion and just get out the game. Because he's done. He's completely done. I mean, there's no more stiffs for him to fight. Now you got to fight real competition. Now you got to fight real fighters. What are you going to do against them? You got a 40-year-old guy breaking you up in the ring. Manny almost broke the man's ribs, cracked him on the jaw, put him down in the first round. I'm like, come on, man. And that's 40-year-old Manny. If that was 30-year-old Manny, we're not even talking about that fight going to distance. Yeah, it's a little crazy. But I got Errol winning the fight by unanimous decision. Well, actually, it's a PBC fight, so it won't be unanimous. We'll say, yeah, it's going to be unanimous. It's going to be a unanimous decision. But don't be surprised if you see the majority decision. One judge just mysteriously liked the football tackling of Errol of Sean Porter and decided to give him one of the cards. You know, that PBC judging, you know, so. Yeah, well, people do what they normally do to survive, you know. That's how you gotta look at it. It's like people do what they know how to do. You know, their game was survive. That was the name of the trick. It's like, look, how are we gonna get through this? We gotta survive. That's it. That's all they know how to do is survive. So is survival your only way of escape? Then that's that. Spence versus Crawford needs to be, but it's hard to tell. We don't know what's what anymore. Jesus. A signal used to mean let the person get over. I'm trying to get over. The signal don't mean for you to speed up. Only in Chicago, baby. Only in Chicago. Like, oh, he's trying to signal. Floor it. Signal is letting you know I'm trying to turn. Oh, you ain't getting in front of me. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty good. But that was the funniest. I'm watching that. If you go on YouTube after my video and you guys donate to the Cash App, name Carcino on the Cash App. After you guys do that, definitely check out it's worth every penny. He was like, man, Kell Brook dated everything you tried to do. He was like, man, I felt like, man, I was hurting Kell Brook in that too. You think he was hurting Kell Brook? Yeah, I think I hurt Kell a couple of times. No, you didn't. Oh, man, I can't wait. I'm going to watch that as soon as I get off this live. Matter of fact, I'm getting off this live right now just so I can go back and watch that. You think you heard Kell Brook? Yeah, I heard Kell a couple of times. No, you didn't.